2000 Honda Clarity. Or I mean, not 2000, 2018 Honda Clarity. Couple problems on this, and I've made videos about this before. One, shops, especially body shops, since these are new cars, after any kind of radiator coolant work, the front gets smashed. The intercooler and the radiator, shops have been having a problem purging out the air because they're still doing the old school method where you just fill it up. You start the car, you let it get hot, you let it suck down the coolant, and they just keep going and repeating that. There's so much tubing, and there's so many different heights and levels, and there's electric water pumps. A couple shops on the Clarity, I've seen them have boilovers where they overheated the engine. And a couple shops coming back in on tow trucks because they didn't get all the air out. The customer took it out, and they have the light come on the dash, and next thing you know, a tow truck is bringing it back in the truck. So be careful on your air purge procedures on the Honda Clarity. Remember, this has an inverter. Now, when looking for refrigerant leaks on your condenser, let's go down here. Okay, you see the stone chip guard to protect the tubes where stones could come through here, but when you look down, there's no stone chip guard below because the bumper is here. When you get back here, there's a chip guard again, that plastic rail. I've seen body shops leave that off after replacing the heat exchangers in front. But take a closer look at that condenser. Take a real close look. What do you see? Let's see if I could give you a clue. What do you see right there? What do you see right there? Isn't that a heater hose clamp? And isn't that a plastic header? Then what are you looking at? If you put UV dye in here, or if you're sticking your electronic leak detector looking for dyes. This is funny, when I'm in a shop and I see a guy on one of these new electric or inverter driven cars that have a heat exchanger that's a coolant heat exchanger for the inverter in front of the condenser, and the technician will be using a refrigerant leak detector but looking for leaks on a coolant heat exchanger. You're not going to find a leak that way. Another one is on the oil when exposed to the air after a line is removed for a long time. You have a problem with air in contact with the oil, and it's POE oil, as you can see right here on these kind of cars. With POE, you are not to expose this kind of oil to the air at all whatsoever. Now imagine when a line gets cracked or a condenser is replaced, it's open to the air for a week while repairs are being done. You are not going to get all that moisture back out of that refrigerant, and you would not want to own that car after that for the future possibly expensive repairs for the air conditioning. After, nothing will be immediate. It'll be a long way down the line kind of expensive repairs. That is about it. Oh, and another one I noticed too is on the Clarity, since I've seen a couple of them bake and overheat inside body shops while they're trying to fill the refrigerant. You take off the cap and smell inside. And for you guys who are from Honda, you know what it smells like, or old tech. If you've ever smelled an engine that overheated in the coolant system, it has that peculiar certain smell to it. And my camera does not want to focus. Okay, so an overheating engine. So what I've noticed is a couple guys who've overheated the engines on the Clarities because they couldn't get the air out of the system. And I've pulled the caps off and smell them, and you get that overheated engine smell. You would not want to be the owner, even though it didn't burn, the head gasket didn't go at that time. If you've taken the gasket material up to that temperature multiple times or for a long duration of time while you're trying to fill coolant, the problem's not going to happen now, usually immediately in the shop. Let's say a year later, 20,000 miles later, this is when you have the problem. So a lot of those mechanical shops, you're going to see problems a year, 2 years way prior to the life should be over with head gasket problems. Look back into history and see if it's been in a body shop where they replaced the radiator and or the inverter, and they had to open up the coolant system. You'll probably find 8 out of 10 times they were always in a body shop prior to the blown head gasket. That's it for this one. Just a little clarity update to clarify things. See you.